Stronger together. Stronger, stronger together.
Well, hey, it's Karel, and welcome to another edition of Karel Life in Segments, the 13th. Actually, I'm going to tell you why that's important in just a minute, because you're going to get 2 rants for the price of 1 to start this off. Because, oh my God, Cecil the Lion. I don't care if it's like 2020, you're going to know who Cecil the Lion is. This, of course, is the lion that got killed by this dentist, and now big game hunting is back in the news, and America went berserk. And of course, I took a rather unpopular opinion with Cecil the Lion. Now, I love me some Cecil the Lion. I don't understand big game hunting, and I have the solution I'm going to tell you in just a minute. But before we get into the solution for Cecil the Lion and big game hunting, I want to ask you something. And this just came up. No one knows, it's off script, so everyone's panicking. What is stopping you? What is stopping you from getting what you want? You know, a lot of you watching this right now, you're in tune politically, and you pretty much know how we are. We have an election. It's 2015 for me. We have an election coming up. The Republican side of it is like a clown car of insulting idiots. It's beyond ridiculous now. And so there's a lot in the country that's going on against you. But what is stopping you? You know, back last year at this time, I didn't have a TV show. I'd always wanted one, but I didn't have one. Now I do. Why? Because someone kicked me in the butt and made me do something about it. One of my friends, Karen Dittman, said, you know what, I am sick of you just talking about it and pitching and having meetings and just waiting for someone to hand you something. Do it for the love of God. So I called Brandon Riley Miller, called Curtis. We got together with Free Speech TV, Carolyn Briggs, Alexander Maness. I said, hey, if I can give you a show, will you play it? They said yes. And now here we are today filming the final episode of our very first season on television. Now that's a really big thing, no matter how big or how small the network. And what I found out was the only thing that was standing in my way was me. Now it's really easy to blame everything these days. The economy is screwed. Everything has gone wrong to try to hold you down. And most of you don't feel that the government is a partner in your success. How many of you out there think, oh yeah, the government's a partner in my success? Well, guess what? I think that number is probably, most of you think all you can do is try to get by on your own. Well, if that really is the case, then most of us are letting ourselves down. We're standing in our way. So before I talk about big game hunting, I want to talk about you. I want to talk about your goals. I want to talk about, are you doing everything that you should be doing to get where you need to be? And no, it's not going to be easy. And no one's going to help you. And sometimes along the way, you might be homeless, or you might be broke, or you might be God knows what, but that doesn't mean you get the right to stop. Just because our country is not doing quite so well right now doesn't mean we all get to quit. In fact, it means we have to work harder. We have to work harder. I'm lucky enough, I found what I need to be doing. I need to be here with you each and every week. I need to be on radio each and every day. I need to make movies. I need to keep writing. I know what I need to do. Find what you need to do, what you must do. And then get out of your own way and start doing it, okay? Unless that happens to be big game hunting. Now, when you were a kid, I don't know about you, or even now, when I see a lion, when I see a tiger, when I see a bear back here in my backyard, where I'm back here, and Esther is about the most wild animal we have back here. When I see a lion or a tiger or a bear, I either want to get out of its way so it doesn't eat me, or I want to hug it. I want to cuddle with it. I want to love it. I want to take care of it. I don't know who sees these majestic creatures, giraffes, hippos, lions, and think that it's a good idea to kill them. But I want to bring up something sort of groundbreaking to you. Who owns them? We need to start asking ourselves that. Who owns them? Is it Zimbabwe's right to allow people to hunt certain species there? Is it any African nation's right to allow, elephants to be killed No, because we own them. The 20,000 lions left like Cecil, those belong to you, they belong to me, they belong to your children. The giraffes, the elephants, while we've been mourning Cecil the lion, 10, 15 elephants have been killed. Those belong to us. And it's time that the United Nations and NATO actually do something good for a change and go and protect things that can't protect themselves. And yes, I am talking about armed protection for this wildlife. It's time. It's time to send UN peacekeepers. It's time to send NATO troops to the areas where these animals are and tell these poachers their days are over. And as for America, why? Thank you, Delta Airlines, but I didn't know that you were carting around stuffed lions and the like. Ick! I mean, I'm glad you're not now, but come on. Why would we grant a visa to anybody to go and kill one of these creatures? Grow up, America. And if you're a big game hunter, have I got the solution for you. Child, I produce this along with Brendan Riley Miller. And if any of you out there want to do this, we'll do it for you. You big game hunters, start hunting each other. That's right, each other. Start tracking each other, pointing guns at each other, and firing at someone that can actually fire back. I mean, after all, I've seen most of you. You're pretty fat. You'd be big game. Oh, and as for that girl from Idaho and her glamorous and her big lips, girl, stick to the runway and get out of, big game hunting. Let's start big game hunting for pay-per-view television where they hunt each other. The hunters hunt each other. Very Hunger Games. We could do this, we could pitch it, we could sell it, we could get it on the air. I say we do it, because otherwise no one has any business shooting my lions, my elephants, my giraffes, my hippos. And that's how you need to start thinking. These are your animals, and you need to be pissed off that people are going over there and killing them, whether the country they're in say it's okay or not. Look, some countries could say it's okay to kill a certain section of people. Would we go along with that? Oh, wait. The Darfur, and then there was that whole Rwanda thing. Okay, well, we're not supposed to go along with it. So we shouldn't go along with the people either. I am Karel. I always say, be who you want to be, someone that doesn't hurt anybody. There is no reason to hunt big game. Now, big game hunters. Do I have a flea on me, for the love of God? I'm wearing my cedar side. I truly am, by the way. I sprayed. They have a spray for you, for people. And it works, and it smells good. Yes. All right. Well, I should not be. I have it on, so I should be bug-free. Making sure that I don't have any pests. Pests, if you live in Southern California, it's been like a swamp around here recently, so the pests are flourishing. But no matter where you live in the country, pests are a problem. And when it comes to your pets, fleas are the worst. If you have a chow chow or a big hairy dog like I do, they get a hot spot and it just kills you. And then your little ones, you see them almost eating themselves alive. What are you going to do? Well, for most of you, the answer is a drop on the back or a pill down the throat. What if I told you that wasn't good? And you're going, Karel, my vet. Is it harmful? Is it going to kill your dog? Probably not. And I say probably because it has some. But is it the best thing for them? No, there is a better way. The question is, do people know about it? So we're going to go over here to the dog park in my city, here in the Long Beach Recreation Park Dog Park. And we're going to ask some of these people over here what they use for their flea and tick protection, also what they feed their pets, and generally if they've adopted a more holistic approach, because that's what I want you to do, is adopt a more holistic approach to treating your cat or dog. I'm going to go talk to them, and hopefully they won't sick their dogs on me and bite me. All right, as you all know, I have one job on this planet, and that is to wake up, feed, and walk my dogs. I live for my dogs, Pippa and Attila, and many people do. So I came to my dog park here in Long Beach to talk to some pet owners because, as you know, I believe in a more holistic way of taking care of our animals. I make my dog food. For those of you that want the recipe, it's in episode 110, which is online at karel.media, and that's my dog food that I make for my pets. But today we're going to talk more about flea and tick and other holistic ways to take care of your pet. We're out here at the dog park, and I've ambushed dog owners. And I've got Yosh here. Hi, Yosh.
Hi there.
Hi. Now, where are your two? They're somewhere. They're around here somewhere. Now, how long have you been a dog owner?
Pretty much all my life. Various dogs here and there. But we got Peyton about 6 months ago, and Tucker 7
Adoption.
years ago. Yeah.
Now, how do you? We live in Southern California where it's like hot all the time, and so fleas are like year round. How do you deal with fleas?
Well, we recently started using something called flea treats.
And what is that?
It's an all-natural vitamin B complex pills that you have to feed them twice daily, depending on their weight.
Right.
So,
Why did you decide to go with a more natural? Because everyone uses the front line or they give them those pills. Why did you decide not to?
just you've given them chemicals or putting chemicals on them. I don't believe in that.
Well, do you know how that stuff works?
Yeah.
If it's the top stuff, it's pretty much like spraying them with malathion, basically. I mean, it's just you're putting this chemical on them that goes topically. If you give them the pill, it puts a poison in their blood, and when they're bitten, then the animal dies.
Right.
But I thought if your kid has head lice, you don't have him to eat poison.
Right. No, we're agree. I'm fully in agreement with that.
And nowadays, I think we're looking at our pets a little bit differently in terms of their health. Like when you're buying their food, are you a little more conscious of what's in it and what you're feeding them?
Yeah, no, we buy all natural food. Like
I make mine.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Nice. We haven't gone that far yet.
Well, when the Chinese poisoned our pets and then there was no repercussions, I'm like, no way, I'm not, and then I found out there was roadkill in pet. I'm like, oh, no. Yeah. Now, how is your natural way working for you?
Oh, it's great. Like when we actually switched over with the little guy's food, we use for him, what's it called? Healthy Kitchen, maybe, the dehydrated stuff, or Honest Kitchen. Yeah. That's what it's called. And we noticed everything like just kind of change as far as energy levels.
And with the flea control, is the natural way working?
This was the first month, so it's still like in the beginning of like it says it kicks in for 2 to 4 weeks. So,
but you just feel better giving it.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Me too. I use cedar oil from a company. Yeah, Cedar Side. They actually came on board as an advertiser to my radio show a while ago, and I thought, well, does this really work? Let me see. And so it does. They smell great. It treats the skin as they're doing it, and you can use it on a cat. If they have a skin irritation, it's great for that. And then you can use it on you for when you go outside for biting insects. So I thought, well, it works for them, and you can spray your yard with it, and it's all just cedar oil. And I thought, well, how bad could that be?
Yeah, no, that's great. I've also read about like lavender oil too. Yeah.
There's several oils, essential oils: lavender oil, cedar oil, mint oil, eucalyptus oil. These are all oils that actually will, because with fleas, that pesticide that you put on them, that gets to them actually through smell, and that's what the cedar oil does. They inhale it, and and they croak.
Yeah, nice.
Yes, nice, exactly. Well, thank you for talking to us about your, and I'm glad you are a responsible pet owner. These people who are like, I feed them pedigree and give them a flea collar. I'm like, oh, abused child. All right, George, we're here at the dog park. Who have you got, by the way? Who's running around that's yours?
Her name is Peaches.
I assume that's your dog and not your wife.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, good. Let me get that. Now, what do you do for Peaches when it comes to, it's so hot in California, what do you do for flea and tick control?
We mostly use, when she does get fleas, I mean, she hasn't had very many cases of bad fleas, but when she does, we tend to use.
They say that's a lie. You're supposed to use it all year round. Do you think that's a marketing? Yeah, they say that they're there all year round. But
I think it is.
In the winter, you don't really.
They're just like doctors.
Yeah,
but
exactly. Here, take this. You need it. No. So you give them the top or the pill or?
No, we give them the little
front line.
Yes,
Yeah.
the little. You squeeze it on down their spine, get it on their skin.
What do you suppose that is?
What do you mean?
What are you putting on her back?
Some kind of funky medicine, I'm sure. We did with another dog we had who had really bad fleas. We gave her a vinegar bath.
And it worked, didn't it?
It worked wonderfully.
Do you know that the front line has been looked at by the EPA? They're still looking at it. They consider it as bad as malathion.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
He said,
So they really do. And about a year ago, 2 years ago now, I came across a product called Cedar Side, but there's many natural products out there because I read what Frontline and then the pills do. The Frontline, of course, and the others, they put a pesticide on the skin, and it's sort of like spraying your dog with a crop duster sort of thing, like you're crop dusting your dog. And then the pill puts poison in their blood, and when the flea bites them, it poisons the flea and they die. But that's still roaming around.
same time, it's poisoning the
in
dog.
their blood. So They don't tell us this, and now the EPA is taking a look at the things that we're giving our pets for flea and tick control because they're saying it's not probably that good to be doing. So you may be changing in the near future.
I think I will. I think I'll go back to the vinegar baths.
And vinegar baths, there's a lot of essential oils that work, garlic in the diet.
The only reason we were concerned, and maybe it was just the dog, we gave her a bath, and as we were doing it, the fleas were dropping off like crazy, but she was kind of whining. So
It could have been burning a little bit. Yeah, you should dilute it, obviously.
We did.
But, ask your vet. There's some dietary supplements, B6, B12, garlic, that you can give them, and it just changes their pH, and that makes the fleas not want them. Of course, cedar oil, eucalyptus oil, mint oil. These are all kinds of oils. Now, what about food? What do you feed your dog?
We try to feed her our own food.
You cook?
No, not me.
I cook.
My wife does, whose name is not Peaches, by the way.
I could give her my recipe. It's on my show.
Tell us the show.
Oh, I know. On Life in Segments, 2 weeks ago, I gave it's like my top secret dog recipe away. I cook every 2 weeks for my dogs, yeah.
That's awesome. That's good, because we don't want to give her any canned food or dog food, because maybe we're not so good on the fleas.
Not to say, so you don't want to give her.
But the food we're very good with. We're staying away from the crap. We cook her. We cook the same meat for her that we eat for ourselves.
You know what I find is really neat? Go get the Super Saver. We're so lucky with all the Hispanic markets. You're like Big Saver, Super Saver, Northgate. They always have 99 cents a pound boneless chicken, leg meat or breast meat or something. Yep. Just get that, because 99 cents a pound, a can of dog food is 16 ounces and it's $1.80. Well, that's $1.80 a pound. So 99 cents a pound, and you're getting real chicken.
And not only that, look at the ingredients.
Right. It's like roadkill.
Mafacofolite and bisamosamide and
But look at the ingredients for your flea control.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're gonna have to see now. We're gonna send you over there to apologize to your dog and then rethink your flea control.
I thought we moved on.
Yeah. But be sure you consult your vet as always. But there is a better way.
Yes, there is.
Okay, so one thing that I'm gonna always be here on Life in Segments is totally honest with you all. Cedarside became a sponsor of mine many years ago on my radio show, quite frankly, because I heard about them on both Stephanie Miller and Randy Rhodes. And I thought, well, who are these people? Let me call them. And I started using their product. And then I started making my own dog food. And I noticed a change in my pets, that they were healthier, that they were happier. So when I wanted to do this segment today, I thought to myself, well, you can't just go out and, promote Cedarside and go out there and say change. What I wanted to do was tell you all that you have to not think of your pets as property. You have to not think of them as something that you care for out of the grocery store. And so many people leave their food, the pet food, or the pet medicine, basically to a grocery store or to a chain. And you can't do that. Now look, if Frontline and all of those things, if they work for you, I want to say good for you, but quite frankly, they're not really good for the environment, and they're not really good for your dog. I don't care what the vet tells you. The topicals there's been thousands of cases of pets that have had adverse reactions to them. As for the internal medicine, I look at it almost as like chemotherapy for fleas, in so much as the drug doesn't kill the dog and it doesn't really hurt the dog, but at the same time, it is a drug. And no matter what, if you're giving your pet a pill that something's going to stay in their system, for 30 days, I'm not sure I want to do that. Do you? So when it comes to flea and tick control, there are better ways, and you should look them up. But also, don't stop there. You should cook for your pets. If you really love your pet, you'll either if you can afford to buy food for them that's regularly cooked, great. Otherwise, do it yourself. And holistics. How about acupuncture? My boy Attila, he's got some back problems and leg problems. Do I put him on the steroids? Do I put him on the Rimadyl? Do I put him on those? Maybe itty-bitty short term, but for long term, acupuncture, massage, the same things that you would do if you got an injury. We need to think of our pets in a much more holistic way. Sitting out here, all these people care about their animals. Every single one of them cares about our animals. But we just have to take it to the next level, which means caring for our animals as much as we would care about any other family member. And that means when they get sick, thinking about what's best for them, not just hand them a pill or do this. There is a more natural, a more holistic way to pet care. It can start with flea control. You can do pills. You could do the cedar side. You could do other oils. You could do garlic. I'll have on my website lots of different ways that you can do a more natural flea and tick control. Vinegar baths. If your dog is not allergic, do dilute the vinegar. He should have diluted the vinegar. Vinegar baths, that'll also do it. In terms of food, you should make it. In terms of health remedies, I'm going to put links at my website, Karel, Karel.media, for different remedies you can give your dog at home for different things. For instance, if your dog ate something, do you know how to make it throw up? Do you guys know how to make a dog throw up, either of you? Have you ever had pets? No? No, you don't stick your finger down its throat. That only works on supermodels. No, a teaspoon of hydrogen peroxide. Pour it into the dog's mouth, just a teaspoon. I guarantee you they'll vomit. Mojo, one of my older dogs, that I had before, he ate a pill off the floor, and I didn't know what the pill was, so I gave him a teaspoon of hydrogen peroxide, and he vomited it all up. But you didn't know that. There's a lot of things you can do for your pet that are holistic. I'm going to have them at my website. Start with the fleas, though. Get off the front line. Get off the pills. Find something that works for you and your pet, whether it's cedarside or some other alternative, and use it. Because spraying your pet with malathion is just kind of rude. Oh, I thought that dog was right behind me. I'm like, oh. It is the Karelcast. I am Karel. So very glad you are joining me. Pain and music, they go hand in hand, actually. We know that pain therapy, a good pain therapy, is actually music. They go hand in hand. We're going to talk to Karen Dittman, check in with Karen Dittman, my ex-wife in Texas, about a couple things. But the first thing I wanted, there's her hand. She's waving at us there. Hello, hand. The hand. Oh, it's the hand we're getting today. The hand is making a special cameo appearance. And so I wanted to ask you, though, before we go to the music segment, Karen, about a possible scam. I don't want to say scam, but my listeners of my daily podcast know that you recently had a cancer scare. And this was all based on a CT scan that came back, and some CT person said, hey, there's a problem here. And then all of a sudden, you're on this adventure of do I or do I not have cancer? And this adventure proved to be a costly one, even with insurance, did it not?
Oh, it was way more than I could afford.
And at the end of it, of course, lucky thanks be to whatever, you, of course, don't have cancer. But we both feel kind of swindled, don't we?
I don't know how I feel about it. I'm relieved, of course, that I don't have cancer, but I'm angry for several reasons. The first CT scan that they ordered, they rushed me to that.
Right.
So I didn't even have time to prep. They rushed me to it. And then today, when I talked to the insurance person or the hospital who was billing me for another $275, she said, well, the doctor asked for it stacked. And so that's why they hadn't informed me ahead of time of that fee.
And so because the doctor asked for it stat and didn't tell you or didn't, and they just get to charge a fee.
Right.
If you're going to talk to us with the hand, use the hand, by the way. And don't get lazy if you're going to use the hand. So you got charged for this stat test that you didn't want a stat test. You would have been without a stat test, but they gave you one. Then that stat test said you had to go have another test.
Yes.
And now you've been charged for that test as well.
I have. I spend a total of over $600.
Which is about half, well, I don't want to spill too many beans, but the average senior today in retirement makes about $1,200 a month on Social Security. And so $600 is a lot of money to anybody. So all of that, and at the end of it, you don't have cancer, so you call to cancel the doctor with the oncologist, and what does he say?
Well, he was kind of snitty because they don't like it when you cancel on them. He said, well, we'll have to have another test in 6 months.
And you're like,
That isn't going to happen.
That is not going to happen. It's not going to happen. No. Now, let's switch to a happier subject, which is music. I mentioned to my friends at Sonos that you didn't have any music around your house. None, zero, zip, nada. Ever since you moved, you hadn't really upgraded stuff. And I was asking them, for a code to buy a Sonos Play 1 for you for your birthday. They were kind enough to send you a Sonos 2-pack, which is 2 of the Play 1s. And you are not someone who would you consider yourself an audiophile?
No, not at all.
So setting up music and setting up things to you is not exactly easy.
No, I was totally worried that I wasn't going to be able to do it.
So you get the boxes, you get these little things, and how was the experience? How did it go?
I opened them up, and there was an extra wire that freaked me out at first. But when I opened up the little brochure, it said there are 2 steps. Two. And I figured even a moron like me can do 2 steps.
Well, could you?
I did.
You really?
Yes.
What were the 2 steps?
Plug it in.
Okay, that's so far so good.
I managed that one okay. It wasn't easy, though, because I had to move a great deal of stuff to do it.
Well, looking at your house, yes, one would imagine that.
And then step 2 was download the app.
Okay.
And so I went to the app store, and it came up with nothing. So then I looked at the brochure again. It said go to www.sonos.com. And then I went to their website, and I watched 2 videos on how to do it, none of which said, here is where you download the app. I had to search for that. So they need a button on their website that you can just click and download the app. And once I got it, it was fabulous. It worked.
And you have it on your iPhone, your iPad, and your desktop. You access all of your music plus streaming, and you got 2 of them. How easy was it to link it up together?
It was all easy. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I did it.
Well, it was very kind of them to send those to you, and they've sort of become the leader in high-end audio. And
it sounds fabulous.
And they're little, too. They're little tiny things, which is great. So
I made a fabulous playlist. I've been listening to Lila Downs and Willie Nelson.
Oh, how joyous. Lila Downs and Willie. Well, happy birthday.
Well, thank you.
on behalf of Sonos, you enjoy the Willie Nelson. But really, you hear about technology today, Karen, and everyone says, oh, it's easy, it's easy, it's easy. They market this as being, anyone can do this. You can integrate this system into your house. And what you're telling me is that's true. You're 69. You're not really tech savvy.
I really did not think I could do it. I've hated it in the past when I had to set anything up. It was not intuitive. It never worked. It just annoyed me more than anything. And this was step 1. Step 2, I did it.
Well, I'm
so happy I have music.
See there. Well, that's this edition of Talk Goes Tech. We wanted to put Sonos to the test and see if it really was as easy. So we sent them to a 70-year-old Nana who doesn't really keep up with technology, and now she's jamming to Willie Nelson. So I guess
you know what else I did?
No.
I got out my saxophone, and I started playing along with Willie.
You're like Lisa Simpson. All right, I am Karel. She is Karen, and we will be back. Hey, it's Karel, and Karel Life in Segments is brought to you from the underwriting of FarmFreshFlowers.com, a local flower grower in Southern California. What's in the field today is at the door tomorrow. FarmFreshFlowers.com. Also, the Buena Vista Cafe. Located on Hyde Street in the Wharf in San Francisco, the Buena Vista is the birthplace of Irish coffee in the United States. The Buena Vista Cafe and thebuenavista.com. And of course, Cedarside, all natural flea and tick protection for you and your pet. Cedarside.com uses safe, effective Texas cedar oil for safe and effective flea and tick control for you and your pets. Cedarside.com.